Look at these teeth. It's like a work of art, isn't it? They belong to Crabeater seals, but despite their name, they don't eat crabs. After all, these amazing teeth, you could say a dentist's dream, are needed for a different kind of food. The main prey of the Crabeater seal is Antarctic krill. These are small crustaceans resembling shrimp, up to 6 centimeters long. The seal's teeth serve as a filter. The Crabeater looks for krill, swims through them with its mouth open, and strains out the water. This shape of the side teeth is called festooned tuberculate. When the jaws close, openings remain through which water exits the oral cavity. By the way, many other seals have similarly structured teeth, even such a powerful predator as the leopard seal. Despite the fact that this animal mainly feeds on relatively large prey, penguins and other seals, including the Crabeater seal, which often has scars on its body from their attacks. Nevertheless, sometimes leopard seals also eat small prey, like krill, filtering it through their teeth in the same way. In general, there are many amazing teeth in nature. For example, this is what the teeth of the pacu, a type of freshwater ray-finned fish, look like. Some species of moray eels have an additional set of jaws that emerges from their throat. Look, it looks just like in the movies, like Ridley Scott's Alien. It seems that when it comes to jaws, he took inspiration from moray eels. Here's what a leatherback turtle's mouth looks like, almost like a scene from a horror movie. Interestingly, in a way, the mouth of lampreys looks similar to this. Lampreys, which attach themselves to fish and then feed on their blood and flesh, can hardly be called pleasant creatures. Their oral disc is lined with keratinized teeth. There's even a large tooth on the tongue. It's hard to imagine what a fish feels when such a monster, a supercharged leech, attaches itself and releases digestive juices into the victim's body, only to then suck in the already partially digested mass. And this is what an elephant's teeth look like. One of these teeth can weigh up to 9 kilograms. This is what a snail's teeth look like. It has around 20,000 to 25,000 of them. During observation, you can notice how quickly they deal with hard food. The tongue, which has a chitinous ribbon with such little teeth, grinds the food. Because of this, the small teeth wear down very quickly. However, for snails, this is not a problem. The little teeth regenerate quickly, and new ones grow back. Snails with this kind of regeneration can be compared to sharks, or even piranhas. Their teeth are replaced not one by one, but in entire sections of their jaws. Many fascinating things occur on the ocean floor. We have a separate episode about this. Check it out if you haven't seen it yet. Since we're talking about water again, let's look at these teeth. Who do you think they belong to? These are the teeth of an ancient whale. It had sharp front teeth for hunting large prey, and its rather unusual back teeth, according to scientists, served the same purpose as those of the Crabeater seal. They created narrow gaps for filtering water, so it could feed on those who couldn't pass through these gaps. But evolutionary biologists have a big problem with this question. How exactly did whales evolve from hoofed, land-dwelling mammals the size of a cat into oceanic giants? Even this fossilized skull doesn't offer much of a clue. Not even what the step-by-step picture looked like from cat to whale, but at least how baleen and blue whales eventually developed this special filter in their mouths, which just can't be compared to any kind of teeth. This so-called baleen is made of keratin, the same material our fingernails are made of. The main theory was that whales first gradually lost all their teeth, and only then developed a filtration system in their place. Then why, for example, didn't the same happen with sharks? Why isn't there a species of shark that also filters water, instead of hunting the old-fashioned way with their serrated teeth, which are constantly replaced throughout their lives? Now let's think about this. Maybe, just like it was for whales at one time, are teeth an atavism for humans from an evolutionary perspective? That's a pretty heretical thought, right? To understand that this isn't just a joke, it's enough to look at the future of dentistry. For now, these are devices like 3D scanners, digital modeling of orthodontic procedures, photopolymer 3D printers, and automated milling machines. Dentists are already making braces like these, not for teeth, but for the whole face. 3D metal printing colored parts, printed by laser sintering from powdered titanium, customized for each patient. Software for designing the bite. All of this already makes it possible to model and reconstruct the skull from scratch. But what will happen next, in about 10 or 15 years? Genetically modified microorganisms to colonize the oral cavity? A vaccine against cavities? Or maybe we won't need teeth at all in the future. It is believed that our jaws are getting smaller through evolution. The shift to thermally processed, easy-to-chew food has led to a gradual decrease in the size of the facial skeleton. Another factor that may have played a role in this process could be the optimization of bone and muscle structures for the development of a more advanced speech apparatus. It's hard to imagine how easily I would be able to pronounce all these words if I looked something like this, like a Neanderthal. But judging by the large musculature and the shape of such jaws, one could assume that the subtle nuances of speech in modern languages would be difficult for these charming faces. Modern research shows that almost all of us have malocclusions. In different regions of Russia, their frequency ranges from 37 to 90%. At the same time, in rural areas where orthodontic care is not provided or is provided with a delay, the proportion of such anomalies exceeds 80%. So, does it mean we are currently in a transitional process of evolution? A normal species with stable morphology shouldn't have so many developmental problems, especially if we consider that the large number of anomalies in rural areas is the basic biological scenario without medical intervention. The main prevailing pathology is the narrowing of the dental arches. That is, the process of jaw reduction is happening, but the proportional reduction in the number of teeth is significantly lagging behind. However, 5 to 8 out of every 100 people are already born without permanent tooth buds. Most often, these are the third molars, second premolars, or lateral incisors of the upper jaw. In certain situations, with a symmetrical anomaly, this can compensate for insufficient jaw growth and help form a physiological bite. It turns out that a bird-like face, for example, like the actor Leo Bill, with a dental anomaly of underdeveloped lower jaw, will soon become the norm. Will the face still look like that in a few hundred years? But all jokes aside, it's not just about the teeth, it's even about the eyes in this funny picture. Let's take a look at an interesting paradox from modern Wikipedia. The main cause of myopia listed there is an elongated eyeball. It also says that myopia is caused by heredity, and as a child grows, their eyeball grows as well, gradually increasing in length. By the age of 20 to 25, growth stops and myopia stabilizes. And get this process is not affected by external factors. Poor lighting, gadgets, visual strain. It's great that it doesn't rely on gadgets. But just a bit further down, after a couple of sentences, there's a reference that by 2050, about half of the Earth's population will have myopic refraction. At the same time, almost 1 billion of them will have myopia, that is, a high degree of nearsightedness. It turns out that in 30 years, which in terms of evolution isn't even a margin of error, the human population will become half nearsighted. And all this is happening without the influence of gadgets, strain, or poor lighting. Or maybe things will turn out differently, maybe even the opposite. In about 30 to 50 years, humanity might start selecting embryos, where children will only be born with the correct desired genome. In 100 or 150 years, actively deactivating the genome with predictable results will be the norm. And this can no longer be called evolution. It's anything: genetic engineering, design engineering, eugenics, but definitely not evolution. So what bird-like faces and nearsighted eyes can we even talk about? If classic toothy jaws and sharp eyes become popular in society, that's exactly the kind of kids bioengineers will make. Well, at least for those who have the money for that kind of genetic correction. For example, women's breast size among modern celebrities can be changed with money to achieve a desired look. Anyway, we'll continue talking about evolution in our other episodes. While you prepare your comment, here are a couple more episodes about teeth already released on our channel. See you soon!